November 4th, 2021 is now in session. Would you stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Again, good morning, everyone. I'm Gary Rowe, President of the Board this year. To my left is Commissioner Barb Lewis, Vice President, and to my right is fellow Commissioners Jeff Denton, and our clerks Sarah and Jennifer. With that, let's begin.
Resolution number 21-1084, and the matter for approving the electronic record of proceedings from regular meeting held November 1st, 2021.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 21-1084. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
We have no public comment this morning. Resolution number 21-1085, and the matter for approving purchase orders, then and now certificates and payments of warrants in batch numbers CMA PR 1103 and memo transfers in batch numbers MTA PR 1103.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 21-1085. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 21-1086, in the matter of approving travel expense requests.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 21-1086. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 21-1087, in the matter of approving a memorandum of understanding to the collective bargaining agreement currently in effect between the Delaware County Board of Commissioners and the International Association of EMTs and Paramedics, Local R7-11 NAGE-SEIU.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion.
Morning, Commissioners. Jeff Fishel, Director of EMS, Delaware County. Before you is, for your consideration, is a memorandum of understanding. I can't say everything you just said. That would give, when an EMT goes to paramedic school and becomes a paramedic, it would give them full paramedic pay after one continuous year of employment with Delaware County.
Okay.
Questions or comments? Vote.
Vote on motion 21-1087. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 21-1088, in the matter of approving a memorandum of understanding to the collective bargaining agreement currently in effect between the Delaware County Board of Commissioners and the International Association of EMTs and Paramedics, Local R7-11 NAGE-SEIU.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion.
Morning, Commissioners. Me again. This is another memorandum of understanding. Currently, whenever an employee is asked to use their personal vehicle for county business, we reimburse their mileage if they submit for it. However, the wording of the contract stipulates that this doesn't occur during voluntary overtime. So we're looking to change and update the language of the contract that any time an employee has been asked to use their personal vehicle for any county business, they are reimbursed for their mileage if they submit for it.
Questions or comments? Vote.
Vote on motion 21-1088. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Thank you.
Resolution number 21-1089, in the matter of accepting the award of the Victims of Crime and State Victims Assistant Grant for victim services.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Nicole Ford with the Delaware County Prosecutor's Office. We have again been awarded the Victims of Crime Act and State Victims Assistance Act grants. These grants allow us to continue to serve our victims of crime in Delaware County community. It partially funds our Victim Services Director, Trish Wright, our Victims Assistant, Megan Powell, and our Civil Protection Order Specialist, Meg Dillman. All of these positions and individuals are extremely vital to this division and Delaware County. For the second year in a row, federal funds were cut by almost 35% across the board. This has taken a huge impact on a lot of agencies around the state, but most unfortunate is how much it has impacted the victims of crime. Fortunately, we will not allow this to impact the effect the victims of Delaware County. For the victims of Delaware County, we will continue to support our community in the best way possible. We have been awarded $81,832.51, $15,945.31, which is a local match. At this point, we do not have any insight which on how the funds are going to be cut in the next couple of years. And this grant began on October 1st, 2021, and will end and conclude on September 30th of 2022.
Questions or comments? Vote.
Vote on motion 21-1089. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 21-1090, in the matter of approving the agreement by and between the Board of Delaware County Commissioners, the Delaware County Prosecuting Attorney, and Matrix Point Software LLC license agreement.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion.
The Delaware County Prosecutor's Office is requesting approval to proceed in a 2-year renewal contract with Matrix Point Software. This renewal agreement would allow us to continue receiving assistance and upgrades in a new case management system that we have.
Any questions or comments? Vote.
Vote on motion 21-1090. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Resolution number 21-1091, in the matter of approving a transfer of appropriations for the Board of Elections.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Vote.
Whoops.
Wait.
We have discussion.
You guys are slow. I thought you didn't want to say anything. We have to wake you up. That was just a normal week at the Board of Elections, wasn't it?
We wanted to give you a little bit of an update as well, so.
All right, yeah.
Let's go ahead and deal with the resolution and we'll
Sure,
do that.
sure.
So, any comments?
Anthony Sadie, Deputy Director of the Board of Elections. We are, in order to cover the payroll for our seasonals and extra poll worker staff that are on payroll, we're transferring over money to, from our election software and computer services, as well as poll worker line over to compensation and OPERS and things of that nature.
Okay. Any questions or comments? Vote.
Vote on motion 21-1091. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
I just want to add my,
You need to
thank.
introduce yourself.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I'm Ed Helvey. I'm Chair of the Board of Elections, and I just want to recognize and thank you for being a poll worker again this year. So thank you for helping
I can't
us
say I'm
out.
happy to do it. Every morning I get to get the car to go, I say to myself, why am I doing this? But I'll be honest, I do enjoy doing it. The location I'm at, the poll workers, whether Democrats or Republicans, we work very well together, and I'd like to think that occurs in the bigger picture as well. So thank you very much I appreciate you saying that.
Thank you very much, and thanks to all the commissioners for the support you've given us over your term.
Appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank
you.
you.
Carla, you have anything to say?
Carla Heron, Director of the Board of Elections. A couple of things. I want to thank you for the space again at the Vote Center, the Big Lots old building. It was really great to have that parking moved over to the other area so it's not so congested over by the BMV. And people got in and out. There was no lines throughout the 30 days of voting, and we really appreciate that space. It was very helpful. Also, we had a really, I think, high turnout compared to other counties. I took a little bit of time to look around, and like Franklin County was in the 20s, but we'll probably with our provisionals, we'll have about a 35% turnout.
Wow.
So as always,
Boy,
Delaware
that's-
County shows up.
Gee.
Also, we're reviewing, but it looks like possibly 3 or 4 of our races are close enough where there is the possibility of a race being
Recount.
changed, or if not that, at least would equate to a recount, an automatic recount within 0.5%. So our elections will continue. And I think finally, I would just comment that probably one of the things that surfaced the most this time for us was security of elections. And we know going into 2022 that that's going to be something we're going to have to be able to answer to and explain whether we're hooked up to Wi-Fi, and as you know, we are not. But those questions surface, so we're going to do our best to get ahead of that going into 2020 and prepare for that. And we're happy to answer any questions if you have any in
When
general
do you-
or about the elections.
When do you certify?
We have it scheduled for the 15th, a week from Monday. We'd like to do that sooner rather than later because of the potential recount, and we will be doing an audit after that. So we'd like to get all that wrapped up by the holidays or by Christmas. These state petitions are due to be filed Christmas week. So unfortunately, our group is not going to get much time off through the holidays
Boy.
because we need to be there to respond to those.
Gee.
Thank you.
It seems you never get much time off. I mean, oh my gosh. There was a bill in the legislature dealing with elections. Has that passed? I didn't keep up on it.
At this point, it was stalled, but we've spoke to our senator and also representatives, and they're saying they're going to take another look at that. I know that there was one bill that looks like it's going to pass, but it was in state printing.
Uh-huh.
They were going to address that issue, but yeah, the quick answer is no. They have
Oh,
not
okay.
really
Okay.
made any changes to the elections at this
Okay.
point.
Okay, thank you.
Very good. I just appreciate all you,
Yes.
three of you do, and everyone else involved, the rest of the board and the
Yes.
rest of the staff. Again, I've said it many times, I'm a little prejudiced, but I think we, as good or better than anyone else in the state, and that's due to you and everyone that's involved at the Board of Elections. And I'm a little prejudiced, but the leader at my side, he does a fantastic job, but I'm sure that's true of every one of the sides. And that's what makes it really work. And always, those people really make the whole process work because they have to have the answers and make sure we have good elections and credible elections and elections that we all trust. It's really due to me, those people are golden. And so thank you very much for all you do.
Well, thank you. And if I may, just one other thing, Karen first, if I could just say, she's been great to help us through financials and everything. So that's support across the county, but she's been great helping us. So I just wanted to say thank you to Karen as well, since she's here.
Oh,
Thank you, Karen.
thank you.
Again,
Thank
thank
you.
you. If there's nothing else, we thank you very much.
Thanks for
Thank you.
coming.
Resolution number 21-1092, in the matter of approving a revocable license by and between the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs, the Delaware County Veteran Services Department, and the Delaware County Board of Commissioners for counseling services and case management support.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion.
Good morning, Commissioners. Brian Gallagher, Director of Veteran Services. This is an agreement with the VA for them to come up and utilize our space to assist veterans in the evening. They'll use our conference room as well as any of our offices if they need to. It's for veterans that have mental health needs. Rather than going down to the VA or going down to the Vet Center, which is in Columbus as well, they can come here locally. So, it's going to save them, time to get there. Or else if we're taking them, it's going to save, time for them to come. So really, they'll come in, I think, at 4 o'clock, and I think their sessions start at 4:30. So about time that the rest of the building's starting to shut down. They may have some stuff a little later on. So I see this as a win-win.
Is security a concern, or we'll have somebody there to?
Right. So we've let the building, know as far as what's going on. If there's something that's going to be potentially, so they'll have a couple of people here, the Vet Center will. If there's any kind of an issue, then, myself or Scott or Wayne or Ray, one of us will stick around as well. And if there's really something that's potentially an issue, then I'll make sure that, Patrick and the 911 Center know what's going on.
Okay.
How often do you expect it to be used?
It's twice a month that they'll be in.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments?
No, just that Director Gallagher gave a report yesterday to the Delaware County Housing Alliance, and it was really beneficial because there were other providers of services there. And when the director explained what all Veteran Services was doing, they were not aware of all that was being done, and so they are going to be able to tell their clients too.
Right. The big picture with this is, and as we've constantly foot stomped, is if, there's organizations that deal with veterans, if they run into any issues or if there's anything that they get that's a question or concern or something that they need help solving, if it's veteran, they need to be thinking of us.
Mm-hmm.
So that way we can help them.
Yeah.
Good opportunity for you to promote next Thursday's events, if you want to do that while you're here.
Yes, sir. So next Thursday in the morning, so for veterans, there's a veterans breakfast that's taking place at the new building at the fairgrounds. You register at SourcePoint's website for that. And if somebody's not that adept with a computer to be able to go on. All they have to do is get a hold of us and we'll register them for it. And then for the public, at 11 o'clock out front of this building, out in front of the historic courthouse, out in the Memorial Plaza, we're going to be doing, a Veterans Day memorial. So, yeah, please come.
You guarantee good weather.
I hope so.
Thank you. Call for the vote.
Thank you.
Vote on motion 21-1092. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brian.
Resolution number 21-1093, in the matter of ranking the proposals submitted for the Delaware County Video Production Services.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, discussion.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jane Hawes, Director of Communications. We received a total of 5 proposals for video production services that we require. Gratified to say that the firm Outsider Video that we have worked with in the past did come out on top in the ranking by our committee that reviewed all the proposals. This was gratifying, honestly, because we received some proposals from places in California, Texas, and to see that the quality of their work is on a par, and in fact, I think better than what we received elsewhere. I think their proximity to us and their experience and sensitivity to our needs really stood out with their proposals. So we recommend your approval so that we can proceed with negotiating the contract with them.
Any questions or comments?
Yeah, how did the cost proposals,
Pardon?
how did the cost proposed compare to
They
last
came in
year?
at, I believe it was
Compared to this year.
62,000, which was under our limit of 70, so that was good to see. They were, I think there was one on cost that was lower, but they also submitted an incomplete proposal. They didn't have many of the requirements that we had in the RFP. They didn't meet, so.
Other questions or comments? Vote.
Vote on motion 21-1093. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Resolution number 21-1094, in the matter of adopting a Delaware County Emergency Communications 911 Central Hours of Work and Overtime Policy for overtime eligible tour commanders.
So moved.
Second?
Motion made and seconded, discussion.
Good morning, Commissioners. What I have before you is a policy, just to bring in line some other work in our office, which allows for payment of overtime certain for the tour commanders only.
Questions or comments? Vote.
Vote on motion 21-1094. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Thank you.
Thank you.
And that brings us, sorry?
Did you say aye? Sorry. I got the vote. I did not hear your vote.
Oh, you didn't hear my vote?
I did not hear it.
Oh.
Sorry.
Aye.
Thank you.
Sorry about that. That brings us to reports. We don't have an administrator represented here today, so Commissioner Benton?
Just a few things, I guess. Commissioner Merrill and I were at the WICA ribbon, or it wasn't a ribbon cutting, actually, it was groundbreaking, at a facility, a new facility they're building on Green Meadows Drive in Creekside. And it's just great to see them move up here. They have an existing location in Columbus, and they're moving, actually, I guess it's technically in Worthington, but they're moving up here and going to be expanding, and they represent a manufacturing organization, international, that sells sensor equipment, tire gauges, that sort of thing, among much more precision things. But anyway, great organization, great to see them commit to Delaware County. They were very excited to get going. I think their facility will open next summer. So anyway, good news there. The smart growth strategy is trying to attract businesses like this, the manufacturing businesses that will expand here locally and offer opportunities for employment here and grow the tax base. So a lot of positives. Warp City Executive Committee is this afternoon. SEPCO board meetings tomorrow. We did get a $5 million water project award from the state of Ohio on their special water funds projects for the Olentangy Environmental Center project, which is a massive project, and $5 million will go a long ways toward helping that project come to fruition and help us fund that. It's a very important renovation and expansion program. So anyway, again, thanks for that. Thanks to Tiffany for applying and putting the material together. And then lastly, we did, I assume everybody got a copy of the
I read it last
Ohio magazine, and on the cover is Delaware, Ohio. Thriving arts scene and dynamic downtown make this city a great place to live and visit, which we all knew anyway, so that wasn't a surprise, but it's great that Ohio Magazine recognized Delaware. I think they did
Yeah.
it once before, a few years ago. We were ranked among the top cities. So again, great news. Congratulations to everyone. Delaware is a great place. It's good to see the recognition.
Commissioner Lewis.
I attended the Housing Alliance meeting yesterday, Delaware County Housing Alliance, and it was very interesting. Through United Way, they have handled 1,000 evictions. And actually, Kelsey Fox, who is leading the effort for United Way, is actually in court. I think I mentioned it. So when an eviction case is heard, the judge, she said, just says, okay, see her. And so they've been able to have 778 cases approved. There are 102 cases in progress. The average assistance given is $3,152, and this is all done through this is some of our federal money that we've given them, and through eviction money plus Pathways. So Pathways to Hope. So it was really great to hear that they're right there helping people when they need it, and the person doesn't have to go to another agency or anything to get the help. Kelsey is right there and says, sit down and I'll look at your case. So it's just a great way to do it. United Way is very creative in their outreach and very, very collaborative too. Other groups gave their reports. One of the reports was given by our local HUD office, Housing and Urban Development, and Delaware Metro Housing Authority, and they actually said that they have a long waiting list. 1,188 people are on this wait list. And the HUD budget for Delaware is capped at $905. And so when you're trying to rent a place and then the utilities are added on in Delaware, it's over that amount. So they have tried to get landlords to pick up the difference. That hasn't worked. Of course, landlords have to make a living too. But anyway, it's unfortunate, but that is actually a function of the federal funding, which surprised me because it seems that there's a lot of federal funding, well, there is, going out. So anyway, so that was very interesting. I had someone contact me about why he had not heard about his housing, and after I knew I was going to meet this lady at our meeting, and so she gave the report, and then I talked to her about it afterwards. But it's just because of the availability of the affordable housing for them to put them clients in. And that's it. That's all I have, and I think we've got a resolution later coming regarding United Way.
Do you have the resolution prepared now? or-
I do have one prepared,
Okay.
and
Well,
it doesn't have
go ahead and have it
its
down.
Sure.
final word on it, but,
Huh?
you want me to go ahead and read it?
Well, is it ready or you need a little more time? Because we could do it after.
Yeah, we can do
executive.
it after executive.
We can do it after executive.
Okay,
Then we'll
sounds
get those
good.
filed.
Thank you. And thank you, Jen, very much.
Just to add on to Commissioner Benton's comments about WICA, it was a little cool out there. That
It was a
weather.
little,
And
actually,
it's a private company out of Germany, and Census engages, and the comments were made. Initially, it was 2 acres, and then it was
Yeah.
4 acres, and I think it ended up about 16.
14
acres.
Including the pond.
So,
So they got
including the
they got
pond.
lakefront property there.
And So obviously, there's the expectation, at least of the owner of the company, again, a private company, that there could be some expansion down the road, and obviously, that's a great, it was great to hear that, and great to hear that it could grow. I think it's around about 20 employees, if I remember correctly. 30?
Yeah, expect to grow to 45.
And then we'll see what happens after
Yeah,
that.
they're in 43 countries. So we kind of their northern North America headquarters. So neat deal.
So, the only other thing I have is, we all get these videos, and I got this video earlier this week, and I think it really helps understand when we talk about $3.5 trillion that some people in DC want to get part of legislation approved. But I think this illustrates it pretty well. I think we kind of lose sight of what a trillion is. And the $1 million, if you take and count from 1 to 1 million, and I think they assume about a second per number, which is probably a little quicker than you could really do it. 12 days to count from 1 to 1 million. To count to 1 billion, 31 days. To count to 1 trillion, 1 trillion, not 3.5 trillion, 31,688 years to count to 1 trillion. So take that and multiply it times 3.5. It gets I think it somehow kind of expresses, we're not talking about nickels and dimes here, we're talking about big dollars. And so I thought that was certainly a great way of illustrating it, so I thought I would share it. With that, I do believe we have need for executive session.
Resolution number 21-1095, in the matter of adjourning into executive session for consideration of compensation of a public employee or public official to consider the sale of property at competitive bidding for collective bargaining.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 21-1095. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
We are now in executive session.